Thank you very much for coming back to my channel. This is Hisakawa. This is the third but not the final video of the Radio Controllable Mini-4WD car series. First, I have something to say. I made heavy mistakes in development, so I'd like to say sorry first. I need an additional video to conclude this Minion series, sorry. Anyway, let's get started. In this series, I am developing a radio controllable Minion out of scratch. In the first video, I roughly designed a new chassis that employs two independent power transmission systems on the right and left hand sides. I brushed the design up by using a CAD software and printed it using a 3D printer. In the second video, electric parts like a microcomputer, motor driver, and infrared sensors were assembled. The electric power transmission circuit was also designed, and the independent LED illumination system was also developed. And in this video, mainly I'm showing the body painting phase, control software development phase, and electric circuit management phase. Especially the last one, I mean the electric power management phase was a little difficult. This is the packaging of this Minion. As in the part of packaging, the main color of the body is blue. Also, lightning-shaped patterns with yellow and red are distributed. Usually, the main blue color is displayed and the patterns are by decal. In this video, I like to make all such colors and patterns by using my airbrush technique. As you can see, the shape of the patterns are relatively complicated for using airbrushes, and this problem is solved by using masking tapes. The body color is made by a multicolored overglaze painting. The first layer is the primer surfacer. The role of the surfacer is smoothing the surface. The shape of the Minion body was modified to cover two AA-size batteries. I changed the shape of the body, so there may be a small scratches or even cracks around the changed parts. So painting the surface is useful to find such small scratches on the surface. When the surface is dried, we can easily find the scratches and they can be smoothed by an additional sanding. After improving small scratches, I cover this body with the surfacer again. The second layer is the dark surfacer. The role of the dark surfacer is the same with the gray one, but particles contained by the dark surfacer are smaller than the previous gray one. Also, overspraying another color on the darker color makes the second coated color better. I'm spraying white on the body. This is the third layer. This white has a relatively high hiding power, and I sprayed the white until the dark color is almost not be seen. The technique I use here is making lighter color like yellow or red by spraying clear color over the white, and thus quality of this white layer is much important. The slightly seen through darker color on the white gives a little change in the light colors. On the fourth layer, I sprayed clear yellow over the white. The clear yellow was made by mixing fluorescent yellow, normal yellow, and pure clear yellow. Painting the mixed color clear yellow over the white, the yellow part of the lightning-shaped patterns were made. Since hiding power of the yellow is much lower than the other colors, I sprayed several times until the depth of the yellow became enough. Yellow type colors do not color on the dark surfaces. After the yellow was dried, I put masking tapes to protect the yellow parts. The shape of the masking tapes were made by using the original decals. Next, at the fifth layer, I sprayed the clear red. It was also made by mainly a clear red, and a bit of fluorescent red and normal red were mixed. When the depths of the color reached to the desired quality, I covered them by masking tapes again. The masking tapes over the yellow layer were covered by the masking tapes on the red layer. The sixth layer was the dark surface again. The role of this color is to be the surface for the next coloring, I mean the silver. In the video, I'm screening the silver over the dark surface. The silver contains larger particles and the surface becomes more like the body of actual colors. This is the seventh layer. At the final layer, I mean eighth layer, I spray the clear blue. The clear blue is made by many clear blue, a little bit fluorescent blue and normal blue. The state of the developing color image depends on the time you spray the clear color on the silver. I spray the clear blue again and again until I got an ideal state of color. I mean, I think this metallic blue is great. After the colors were dried enough, I removed the masking tapes that cover the lightning shaped patterns on the body. In the video, patterns were successfully appeared. Masking tapes on the canopy and headlights were also removed. LEDs inside the body of the Mini-4 would be seen from such transparent parts. By the way, I mixed some fluorescent colors when I made clear colors. Since the sensors for video cameras, which are made by semiconductors, are sensitive for such fluorescent colors, so we can take vivid color tone photos by mixing them. The body painting phase was over, so let's move on to the next phase. Okay, the next step is the development of control software and hardware for the Mini-4. Here I'm showing you a sketch of the power and control systems. The Mini-4 has an independent power circuit, and thus the DC motors are able to be rotated without external power supply cables. To complete the system, a wireless connection between the Mini-4 and the external controller needs to be prepared. Here I'm developing software for establishing the Bluetooth connection, receiving control signals from the controller, and changing the rotation speed of the DC motors according to the signals. At the beginning of this project, I plan to use the DualShock 4. It is a gaming controller for the PlayStation 4 by Sony for controlling the Mini-4. However, the microcomputer Seed Studio Shell ESP32C3 it is a long name, employs the Bluetooth LE, I mean the low energy format, and it is not able to be connected to the Bluetooth version lower than 4, and the DualShock 4 employs version 2.2, unfortunately. So I changed my plan to use another controller with newer Bluetooth format. I bought this controller at an online store. It is sold by Elecom and employs Bluetooth version 4.2. Another problem is that there is no sample program to connect such an uncommon controller. I had to develop a program to establish a Bluetooth LE connection between the Mini-4, I mean the microcomputer, and this controller. First, I tried to establish the connection by using NIM-VLE, I mean Bluetooth Low Energy. The code succeeded to establish the connection once, but the microcomputer reboots after about 10 seconds of connection. So this program was not stable, and I changed the format to establish a Bluetooth connection. So I prepared another VLE program that finds HID devices. This device, HID device, means the controller. Once it found the VLE device, HID device at the controller, it established the connection, and the connection was stable. This version successfully worked. I also developed the program to control the Mini-4. And in the video, the microcomputer received signals from the controller, and they are substituted in the array named iData. iData 1 is for the left and the right input, and iData 2 is for forward and backward input, respectively. When I push this button, the value of the iData 0 changes from 0 to 1. The rotation speed of the motor is determined according to the values contained in the iData. The button is used as an acceleration trigger so that When it is pushed, the rotation speed is 20% increased compared with the previous speed. When I push the button, the additional red LED is turned on like this. Unfortunately, the other button could not be detected by the software. I guess the controller has more than two characteristics and thus they cannot be detected at once by my software. The video shows that the rotation speed of the left and right tires are controlled by the Bluetooth controller. They can be reversed when the joystick is aligned to the backward. This is the moving experiment on the table. The chassis moves forward and backward according to the motion of the joystick. When the LEDs are turned on, it looks so nice. 3-coin batteries are so small, but they are good for turning on such many LEDs. So let's move on to the final experiment. It didn't work well. Sorry, I could not complete this project within 3 videos. As you can see, the Minion could not move smoothly. I like to list the problems on my Minion development at this point and also make some explanation about them. Mistakes on my Minion development were: the first one is motor driver, and the second one is the quality of the chassis design. And the third one is the number of the preliminary experiments before the actual assembling phase. Okay, first I plan to buy a motor driver employing the control chip developed by Toshiba company. However, I bought a similar different one. It doesn't have electrodes for PWM signals and consumes much energy. It causes power shortage, and I added another AA size batteries for the Minion and even a LiPo battery for the microcomputer. Also, the design of the chassis was not good quality. Since the Minion is so tiny, I should have designed the chassis more precisely. And the number of the preliminary experiment was not enough. Bluetooth connection, motor speed control, and LED illumination should have been tested more and more in advance. So I could not complete this Minion series within 3 videos. I'm rebooting this project and showing you in the next video. Please look forward to my next video. Bye bye.